Welcome to Just Hair Me Out, a podcast about love, life, and hair. I'm Barbara. I've spent over 38,000 hours coloring hair.
Hi, I'm Demetra, and I've spent over 1,000 weeks with scissors in my hands.
With 50 clients a week in our chairs and 22 years on our feet, doing hair is not our hobby, it's our hustle. We've navigated salon politics and then opened salon suites of our own in 2020. We choose dogs over kids, skinny marks over beer, and we've only fired 3 clients each. Welcome back. So today we are going to talk about hairstylists in TV and film, which is a very illuminating episode because we get to talk about how culture sees hairstylists, specifically in America, because that's where we are. So, really quick, just to circle back on last week, Demetra, as a gift to the world, was explaining how to get a tight bum whilst driving with the clench.
Oh.
So I just got to tell you, Demetra, I've been hearing so many people talking about Kegel exercises, and we all know what those are, yeah. Yes. The clench of the lady stuff. And I've heard a few different people say now that those need to be officially referred to as push-ups. Right?
Ooh, whoever comes up with this word, I mean, that's brilliant. Push-ups.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're adding to the exercise routine.
I mean, is there such things as like a dick up? Ooh.
Not sure.
Still a muscle. They should be working that out too.
Yeah. That's another podcast.
Oh, yes. Sorry. ADD kicking all in. Should have taken my medicine today, but
oh God.
Okay.
You're all good. So I thought we'd talk about a couple movies that are, some of my faves. Bridesmaids, first of all.
Love Bridesmaids.
Me too. So I got to tell you, Demetra, when it first came out, a couple of my girlfriends that I worked with at the time, where we went to the theater together, and it was like Saturday night, first weekend, and it was awesome because it was like a totally packed house, and nobody had seen it, of course, and it was almost entirely women watching it, and it was hilarious to hear everybody laughing at all the jokes, because something funny would happen. It's like you almost can't even hear what they're saying next on screen because everyone's laughing so loud. But then at this one point, they made a joke and only the 3 of us laughed out of like a couple hundred people. And they're talking about where to have the bachelorette party, and they were trying to push for Vegas. And one of them, the actresses, says, "We have to go to Vegas. I can get cocaine from my hairdresser."
I love
it. Which is so funny because even though it is an absolute myth, like not all hairdressers do drugs, but
true.
Everyone,
very true. I barely even drink, to be honest. I'm such a lightweight. I'm kind of boring.
That's not boring. You're healthy. But what's crazy is almost every hairdresser really does know where to get drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Because of
even the ones that don't do it.
Exactly.
But you know what, though? Besides being able to get drugs, we know where to get almost anything. You can ask your hairdresser like anything. Like, where do I go to get a new car motor?
Yeah.
Right? Like, where do I go to get the best muffins? Where do I go to get the best tuna salad? I mean, I know it sounds random, odd stuff. And where do I go get cocaine? Ask your hairdresser. Like,
yep. Yeah. I tell people that all the time too. Because for me, when I want to know something, if you ask 100 women, 100 different people come into your chair and you ask them, you will find the secrets of the universe from women.
Yes, it's true.
So, but the funniest thing is I saw something on the internet where someone had to have a drug test taken for work, and her new employer took a piece of hair from a wig.
Oh my God, I saw that. Yes.
She was wearing a wig, and they took a piece of that hair to test it for drugs.
Well, I don't know.
I'm speechless.
That's awesome, though. So I guess anybody that needs to get drug tested, if you've been smoking pot or doing drugs, maybe wear a wig, and they might be stupid enough they'll take it from the wig.
Yeah, just make sure it's not a synthetic wig. Human hair.
Right. Because then they'll know. Right. Yeah, see? Just learned.
Although, I think once they get down to actually testing it, don't they have to have like a little bit of follicle? Which you wouldn't have.
I'm
not sure.
Actually, I don't know. Yeah, so who knows what happened with that? Maybe it was like a redo.
Speaking of which, okay, so I was watching, have you seen Selling Sunset?
A couple times. Not all the seasons. I think I watched maybe like the first 2.
I like that show.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Real estate, all that. Okay, so they were talking about having a party and they were consulting a party planner. And she said, oh, I can get somebody like for entertainment. We can have this lady who can read lips. And it was kind of like, what? Why would she be reading lips? But she meant like a palm reader, but for your lips. So like,
I'm confused.
Like so reading the creases or whatever, almost like fingerprint of your lips.
Oh, like how a lot of people might have these little lines on top or
the creases that are in your lips. Oh. And the woman who was throwing the party said, well, all my friends get lip fillers. So that wouldn't work.
Yes. There goes your fortune, ladies. You just that one up.
Also,
see, that's why card reading is just so much better. I opt for the card readers.
Yes.
I like getting my cards read. I do.
Pretty sure none of it's real anyway, so let's debate the cards.
Exactly.
Oh, and Love Island. I learned this. You can learn so much good information from watching really trashy reality TV. That's my tip for the day. So all these young people in England are very much into these huge fake lips. And what they do to get them, I mean, it looks almost laughable. I guess it's lip fillers, like injections and whatnot. So you do have to periodically have them redone because I guess it dissolves very slowly.
I've had it done like a couple times. I've had it done like in my younger days.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
But they do them so extreme. I mean, they're like big.
Yeah, and there's no shape to them.
Yeah, and if you can't, I can tell when someone's talking, if the part of your lip that should be wet is like showing, that's not good. You know what I'm saying? Like this part right there?
Yeah.
No.
I never thought about that. Yeah.
And people can tell. It's like, it's a subtle thing, but you can tell when there's like skin that should not be dry.
Right. Or overfilled.
Okay. So anyway, what I learned from this show, Demetra, is that if you do them repeatedly and you do them really big and extreme, you have to keep doing them because otherwise when they dissolve, your lips look like a saggy, empty ball sack.
Yeah. Hello. Anything that you're filling or stretching over time, eventually, I mean, that's just common sense, right?
Right.
That's disgusting. Saggy balls. Wow.
Well, so then do you have to have like plastic surgery on your mouth just to have, if you were going to say, I really don't want to do that anymore?
Probably. I would assume so.
That's really scary.
Yeah.
And these people are so young. I mean, they're like 20 doing this.
I know. It's almost like that fine print. I'm sure it's in there, but no one really ever reads the terms and conditions, right? Like, hey, you keep doing this, 10 years from now, you might have to take half your skin off.
Yes. Okay. And then let's talk about Botox. And I've never had it, so I don't have a ton of experience. I probably should be having it. People, I mean, I think it's wild that you can do Botox besides like making your face look younger and tighter. People do it in their armpits to stop sweating.
Yeah, I heard that.
I think
I need that. I sweat a lot lately, but I think it's a hormonal thing.
Well, you do need the sweat to come out of your body, though.
Yeah, I mean, you do. But sometimes it's excessive, though. I think they're doing it because it's, excessive sweating.
Or I could see like for, I don't know, your wedding or like some big, huge event.
Sure.
But I think if you do it repeatedly, that to me is scary because that's how your body is getting rid of stuff.
Well, especially I think in that area, that's where all your lymph nodes are. And that's a really dangerous spot. I wouldn't F with it personally. I mean, I've gotten Botox a good amount of times. I think the first time, oh no, maybe the first time I might have been 35. I did it one time, and then I didn't do it again all the way till I was like 40. Then I kind of kept up with it for a couple of years, and then COVID hit. I opt out to not doing it anymore. Hence, look at all my wrinkles. I got a lot of them.
Oh,
But
stop.
yeah, I just, for me personally, I find it to be really expensive, and you have to do it so often. My body metabolizes it so quickly that I wasn't even 6 weeks if I'm lucky. And 2 times they had tried it on me, and it wasn't Botox. They did Dysport. And every time they did it, my eye just went like this, literally.
Whoa.
Both times. Yeah. But it was only
Scary.
so I guess supposedly, I mean, I'm not a doctor or anything, but I guess supposedly like Dysport spreads more. I guess you have to be careful,
Oh,
but you get more bang for your buck. Whereas Botox is literally like, I guess, just that area. So I'm a good candidate for Botox, where it just stays in that area. I'm not good for any of it in general because I metabolize it too quickly. I mean, you're talking 500 a pop 3 times a year. That's 15. I mean, that's just too much money. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to own my wrinkles. It's okay. I'm cool.
yeah.
I'm doing a laser instead.
Oh, okay.
So,
also on Love Island, I learned that people are putting Botox in their on their butt cheeks. So like,
why?
I suppose to make them look like they're airbrushed.
What
I
do
don't
you
know if it's
mean?
like to lift or get rid of any cellulite or
I mean, that's a lot of Botox if you need to lift your ass. I mean, let's talk about how many pounds that is that you got to lift.
also people do Botox in their vagina, don't they?
They do?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's like less elastic at that point, I think. Doesn't move. Your face.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure that one out. But like okay. So if you're doing Botox, like for the vagina, like to make it tighter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
I feel like if somebody doesn't like that area, they can just go elsewhere.
Yeah.
Let's stick with that one.
Okay.
And I don't want to give anybody a hard time for their beauty routines. I've always said I will never do any of that. Now I'm not so sure.
Right?
Now I'm in my 40s. My bra size is 36 long.
Long. I love it.
So we're not going to judge. We're just going to say, oh, that's interesting.
Hey, no judgment here. I'm all for doing things. I don't stay quiet, as everyone can see today. I have not an ounce of makeup on. Okay, all natural today. I just want to let you all know.
Gorge.
Thanks, babe. And I do have rosacea. See, people, you see that beautiful hue? That is not makeup. That is my rosacea. But I am doing a CO2 laser. Speaking of beauty routines, and I'm really, really excited.
Awesome. So we can see an after later.
Yes. I'm going to look pretty scary based on what I saw. They basically burn off your whole face. And that's everyone keeps asking me, a lot of my clients have been asking me, well, what is that for? Why are you doing it? And basically what the CO2 laser is to rejuvenate the skin, and it helps stimulate your own collagen. And it helps with fine lines and wrinkles and things like that. So you know how I had said that I don't want to do Botox anymore because it's really expensive, right? So I did like a whole year of not doing Botox, and I saved that money so I could do the CO2 laser because that's, kind of a pricey thing. But it's like a one and done. You do it, and like I said, when I mean they burn your face, I will look like a burn victim, for a whole week, at least 10 days, give or take, as it starts sloughing off. It's going to be very scary. And if you guys want, I will definitely do, I'll take pictures every day and maybe post it for everybody so they can see the results afterwards. Look at everybody. No makeup today. See my wrinkles, right? Got some good crow's feet here. Okay. I love sharing that with people, right? Hey, why not?
You also look really good without makeup.
Yeah. You're so sweet.
We'll
Thank
see
you.
how much more amazing you'll look later.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm all for stuff and people that do it. And if you do, I truly believe more though I'm all for keeping the way you look. I'm not trying to change the way I look. For me, it's more, I look at it like, when I go get a facial or I get a massage, it's more of an upkeep and to kind of, I don't know, rejuvenate myself. I'm not, all the stuff I feel I've ever done was just to already enhance what I already have or to keep it from, to slow down the aging process just a little bit.
Yeah.
That's all,
all
no
good.
judgment here, right?
No. Also, I gave Demetra homework. Have you been watching Fleabag?
So I just started it.
Good. Okay.
I'm trying to get into it. I'm still like, I was watching it yesterday and it was just funny because I would be into it and then she'll turn around and say something to me. And I'm like, oh,
I know it's hard.
So are all the episodes like that? Like where she's kind of, okay, like narrating it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, I just got into it. I love her accent, actually. I'm not a big accent person at all, but hers is really nice and subtle. It's not overly done.
Yeah.
For me, like I said, I don't care for accents, so I like that it's not too much, or I want to be able to watch it.
Yeah. Okay, so there is a scene in Fleabag, and if anyone wants to look it up, it's Fleabag, Hair is Everything. So there's this point where the main character, her sister, comes to her crying, and she beforehand had long straight hair, and in this scene she comes up to her sister meeting up in a park, and she has this really short, it looks like almost like the 9-point Sassoon haircut, like from the, is that 70s or 80s? A really specific short cut.
That one specifically that you're talking about, because I saw that clip, I believe is from the 80s. That was like a revised version of the 70s one. Yeah, it's an 80s look. Yeah.
So it's like a really fashion forward, I would say kind of avant-garde short haircut. And so she's like crying. She's like, look at me, and I look terrible. So in Sisterly Love, they go together to go yell at the hairstylist. And long story short, when they get there, the hairstylist has proof via the image that was brought to him as her inspiration of what she wanted. And it's exactly the same. Because she's like, no, I didn't want this. I didn't ask for this. I didn't. And then he has this picture. That's exactly what she has.
Right. So what's really funny about that? Because I saw that and I was dying because I've actually been in that position where someone's like, this is not what I asked for, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, and you show them the picture. And I'm like, actually, I am so good that I was able to take this picture and literally put it on your head. And then they kind of look at you like, holy shit, she did give me exactly what I asked for. I've been in that position. So when I saw that episode, I was dying. I'm like, oh my God, that is deja vu. I have been there.
So funny. So funny.
You know what it is? I think it's sometimes people want something and then they see it on themselves. It could be either such a dramatic change or it could just be that they don't like the way it looks on them. So they're like, oh my God, I hate this. That person did a horrible job. And in reality, that person did a great job because they gave you exactly what you wanted. It's just, it doesn't look either good on you or you don't like it or you don't like the change.
Exactly.
Right? And I mean, it's unfortunate, but it does happen. That's why I think consultations are also very important. You need to know, like, even if a client comes in and says, I want this, you need to look at them and say, this is not you. This is not like your style. You have to not only, take in consideration their hair texture, look at the way someone dresses. Is that going to if you know your people, you've been doing them for years, you're going to know. I mean, I've had people come in and say, absolutely not. They keep asking for it, third, fourth time, I'll give it to you. And I will tell you, sometimes they'll turn around and be like, I should have listened to you. At some point you have to give them what they want.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're paying you. You are the professional. But if you know your clients and you've been doing them for a long time, that's part of the process, people. Don't just do it because you can. Let them know that this is not going to look good on you so that you can save them some suffering. But if they keep asking for it, then you do it and let them learn their lesson. But I think part of the process and explain why you think it might not look good or if it's not their style.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But that's a great, everybody needs to check out that episode. Like, it's a
so
great,
funny.
Yeah, it's really funny.
It also is bringing back a memory. I did a young woman's hair. I'd never done her before. She came in, had an appointment, and I honestly thought she was like somewhere in her 20s. And she wanted her kind of light brown hair to be all darker. And so I did a pretty thorough consultation. She said she wanted permanent color. She said she didn't want it to fade. We looked at swatches. She said lighter than mine, but darker than XYZ. Did her hair. She loved it. She left. Her mom came back. She's in high school. Her mom didn't like her hair and proceeded to yell at me for a good 15 minutes. And she didn't want me to fix it. They wanted to go elsewhere to have it fixed. Anyway, incredibly awkward.
That happened to me one time in my career. This is when I had my own shop and I was working for myself. My first time being my own boss too, right? So this was an interesting situation. And young lady comes in. She's home for college. And I had been doing her hair for the last like 10 years or so. And she came in, really long hair. You know, I want about 5 inches off and I want a ton of layering. And her hair would have still been long, like still like maybe here, you know?
Yeah.
So still really, I mean, it was down to her waist. And I said, 5 inches is a lot. Let's do 4. And the layers I'm going to do are going to be, I'll give you a lot of them, but they're going to be like really seamless or whatever. And I did it. Again, I kept it a whole inch longer than what she wanted. Okay. And she loved it. Oh my God, I love it. Great change. 2 hours later, the mom is calling me and the mother's freaking out. You took too much. This is horrible. Her hair looks so bad. And first of all, I don't give bad haircuts regardless. I mean, I know it was not bad. And, she just went on. And I felt really bad for the daughter because I know the daughter loved it. And she went home and the mom was probably like ripping her a new asshole, telling her it looked horrible. So you just made your daughter feel like shit. She's crying now, not because of me. She's crying because of you. I could hear the whole conversation in the background. And I specifically told the mom, well, she loved it. She didn't know what to say to you, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, all right, I'll give you your money back, which I don't do. But that's how much after having this client for 10 years and how the mom went ballistic. I was like, if you're 22 years old and your mom is still calling on your behalf because she doesn't like it, I don't want either one of you as clients.
Yeah.
So I fired them. That is a fire story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It is. It's kind of sad, because it's like a lot of people sometimes are very influenced by what other people think of their hair.
Yeah.
Instead of what they like, well, my husband doesn't like that or my kids don't like that. And I ask them, but do you like it? You're the one styling it. You're the one that has to wear it.
Yeah.
So it is unfortunate sometimes.
Well, I hate it when it comes to the moms who are unhappy. And it's like in my scenario and yours, it's kind of like, well, why didn't you take control of the situation and come in with your daughter so that you could be in charge of her hair then?
Right. Yeah, if you need to monitor it that much and you want to stand over my shoulder, you should have been there, drill sergeant.
And also, have you had people like come back and want you to change their hair because you did it how they asked for it, they loved it, but then their husband didn't like it?
Yes, I've had people say more so. Yes, my husband doesn't like it too short. I always get my husband doesn't like my hair short. My husband doesn't like it short. I've only had maybe 2 clients in my whole career. It's like my husband loves it. Chop it off, and because he doesn't care because he loves you in the way you look. I personally think a lot of women use that excuse. My husband doesn't like it short. I think they just don't like it short. And it's like, I don't care. I'm not here to cut your hair off. You want a half inch? I'm going to do a half inch. My retention speaks for itself,
Yeah, absolutely.
But yes, I have had that where, someone comes back and, whether it be their husband say they don't like it or, even though you gave them exactly what they wanted, they're like, I should have listened. I really want 3 inches off more. And I'm like, that's a whole different haircut. I'm going to have to charge you. Like they've totally changed their mind. So people, just so you know, and this is a little tip for the clients. If you come in and you ask for something, okay, and you're unsure. You're like, I'm not sure if I should take an inch off or 3 inches, and I'm just not sure. Okay. And then you change your mind 2 weeks later saying, I want to change it. I want it shorter. I want it to be X, Y, and Z. That's different. You need to be charged for that because now you're trying to change the whole look. That's a whole other service. So if you're unsure, either wait till you're sure, but don't expect something for free 2 weeks later saying it's not, you didn't give me what I wanted when you were the one that was indecisive and decided, And another thing that I dislike is when you have a full consultation and you cut someone's hair and they're like, oh my God, it really isn't that short. Can you take off a whole other inch? And you're completely done with the haircut.
Oh.
And it's like, it doesn't happen often. I've learned from experience. We're talking my earlier years. So that's when someone is not sure, should I take 1 inch or 2 inch? We're doing an 1.5 inches. Mm-hmm. And then when it dries, it's going to shrink up even more. You'll be closer to the 2 inches, because what you don't understand when someone's cutting your hair, we're not here to play with it and sit you through that and say, okay, I have a whole other 40 minutes to go over the whole haircut again and make it shorter now because you wanted a little shorter because you were scared to make that decision. And I know I might sound like a bitch right now or like one of those ego stylists, which I'm totally not. I'm just speaking from experience. That's why we have a consultation.
Well, yeah, and it's somebody's time.
Money. Time is money, people.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not sure, do cocaine before you come in, or I'll get you some. I'll find someone that could get you some.
Oh my gosh. All right. Last movie I wanted to bring up, Legally Blonde. Okay, there's so many fun like nail tech scenes in there with Jennifer Coolidge.
Yes, the nail tech scene. Oh my God.
But the bend and snap like is always in my brain. Every time I see a UPS driver, I can't.
I remember the first time one day that you had said that to me when we were in the shop, and I drew a total blank. I'm like, what is she talking about? It took me like a second to figure it out. But I was like, oh yeah, Legally Blonde.
Yes. Well, our UPS guy is so nice and so kind, and he was wearing like the brown shorts.
He's
like
so sweet.
It just looked exactly like the guy from the movie, and I was like, oh my God, it just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's so awesome.
Oh, and I really loved that movie, Devil Wears Prada, right? Who doesn't?
Love Devil Wears Prada.
I wish there was a movie like Devil Wears Prada for like high-end hair salons.
Ooh,
wouldn't that be fun?
Oh my God. Yes. That would be fabulous.
Just putting that out there. Also, I love reality competition shows, and I wish that they would do something like that as for hairstylists, because they have all these cool like makeup ones and like cooking and glass blowing.
I thought they had hair ones. They don't have hair ones, huh?
You know what? I just looked it up.
They did.
There's one. I think it's airing right now.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, I gotta look that up. But
so do you actually watch this? So I'm horrible. I don't watch anything. Like, do you remember that one lady, Samantha? I think she was an English woman.
Blonde lady?
Yeah, she was like a Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
But for the hair industry.
Yes.
Never watched it.
Tabitha Coffee.
There you go. I'm horrible. I don't watch anything like that. I could care less. I don't know why. I don't care what they're doing. But that's like me. Every time I see my clients that are like lawyers, I'm like, I love Law and Order. They're like, I never watched that. I'm like, really? And I'm like, oh, okay. I swear. True story all the time. I'm like, oh, I get it. I do get it, actually. Like, I'm a Law and Order fan. Huge fan. Yeah, I love all that kind of stuff. But we talked about it. We love our criminal serial killer stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, and not that Law and Order is, but it's, still usually murders or crazy shit. And
yeah.
But,
so I actually have a client who is a litigation attorney, and I did have the nerve to say to her, like, I've been watching this show Suits. It is so good.
Everybody loves it and is talking. Why can't I get into it? I don't like that Meghan Markle. I'm not a fan, so I feel like I can't watch the show because of her.
Okay, fair enough. But anyway, I guess this woman was saying, well, she tried to get into it, but just like the aspects of the show that are just like not realistic at all as far as the legal system would just annoy her too much. And I think it's the same with doctors watching those ER shows and whatnot.
Good point. Yeah, but, for sure.
Anyway, I just think our profession has a lot of negative stereotypes that I wish people understood the other side of it.
Right. We're not doing it for fun. It's not like hanging out with my girlfriends. It's not a job. It's a career for most of us. Right. It's not all fun and games. And no, I don't want to bring my scissors to Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Right. Oh, you know, I wanted
Nobody
to mention
wants to work on their day off or on a holiday. So don't ask me to do your hair.
When I first started and realized, you know, what a big problem health insurance was for people in our situation. I gotta tell you, when I want to say this like 2003, you actually like were considered a high risk group if you were a hairstylist. Like for insurance, you would pay more because they assume that you have a lifestyle where you're probably doing drugs.
Shut up, dude. Are you serious?
Totally serious. Yeah.
Why? Okay, so why aren't we not suing people? That is so what's the word I'm looking for?
It's judgmental, assumptuous.
No, but that's besides judgmental. Like we were put in a category without even being like assessed.
I know.
It's bullshit. Man, we always get the short end of the sticks. No paid vacations, no paid time off, no health insurance. People understand the struggle is real. And the amount of inflation, I have to tell you something. I am really annoyed. I had to put in 2 orders today. And, you know, I have to go to 2 different distributors, you know, to get some things. They raised the shipping a 3rd time in 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah. Went from $15.95 to $18.95 just for shipping.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not going to say the name. I'll tell you later who it is.
I know who it is.
Oh, you know who it is. That's $3.
I know.
From one company. If you order every month, right? I mean, I don't know. It's ridiculous they really, really take advantage of hairstylists.
It's true. It's true.
People think that we get products for free all the time. Or, oh my God, you know, oh, you carry Moroccan oil. You probably get it for like $5. And I'm like, it still costs me $30 for the bottle you're paying $40 for. We're not getting these huge discounts. It costs a lot of money. And especially when you have your own suite, you get nothing for free anymore. If you want to try a product, you have to physically buy it and try it and then use it on people.
And even the shampoos that we're using at the back bar to use on people, 9 times out of 10, we're paying full price for that. It's like a $60, $70 container.
Container. So like for me at 2, 4, 6, I think I have like 8 total. It's a pretty expensive back bar, you know, for a 1-person show. Yeah. It's crazy.
Makes you want to drink.
Or do cocaine.
You know what? Or do cocaine. So Demetra, I went to Binny's and you know those little I think they call them a cart trolley or carousel, or you know, like where you use a cart at a store and then you're supposed to put it in that thing in the parking lot.
Oh yeah.
What do you call that? The cart return
area? Cart return area.
I noticed that in the Binny's parking lot, I have never seen this before. Those metal bars that are like designate where you're supposed to return your cart were wrapped with really thick duct tape. And I'm like, that's because these bitches are coming in here drunk. Dinging their car because people in the Binny's parking lot may or may not be already
the F up. So it's like a bumper, kind of like a bumper for the...
but a lot of people have dinged their cars over there. Just saying.
Wow. Well, I guess if you're like an officer and you need to make your quota, sit outside of Binny's parking lot.
And people,
tickets. I don't know.
You can get it delivered. It happens. Just saying, don't drink and drive.
Yeah, don't do it. Not worth it.
All right, my friends. I think we are calling it good on this one.
Yes, wrapping it up.
Wrapping it up.
The cocaine is wearing off. Sorry, I find this so funny.
We're going to go have a bump and talk to y'all later.
See ya.
Bye. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please subscribe or follow. And please leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Lastly, follow us on social media for clips of past and future episodes. All our accounts are listed in the show notes below. Thanks so much for listening.